Hey guys, it's Asha and today's video is going to be another Ask Asha, so I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you guys left me on my last video. But before I get started, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for all the support lately. I definitely do not do it enough, but I honestly really do appreciate every single message, every single Snapchat comment, like that you guys leave me. I read all of them and I've been talking to you guys a ton on Snapchat lately and meeting you, and I absolutely love you guys so much, and I just can't thank you enough for supporting me and watching my videos. I feel like you guys know me quite well now, but I don't know you guys as well. So for this week's comment topic, I would love if you would let me know in the comments one interesting fact about you right there. And if you can't think of anything, just let me know what country you're from, because I always find that so interesting that we can just all come together on this little place called the internet from wherever in the world. It amazes me. Alright, so the first question comes from Ellie, and she says, if you could spend one day with any famous person, who would it be and why? Also, love you lots. I love you too. And I think I would have to choose David Bowie, because you guys know I'm obsessed with him and I've watched like a ton of documentaries on him, and he just seems like such an interesting and strange and weird but really creative person. Something about me is I love weird people. That probably makes me really weird as well, but not like creepy weird, but just like interesting weird. You feel me, guys? This question comes from Shanae, I think that's how you say your name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But she says, do you consider your viewers fans, and would you ever be friends with a subscriber? I love you so much. I love you too. No, I don't consider you guys fans at all. I definitely consider you more like my little internet friend group, because it's more of like a friendship, you feel me? I think the good part about being a YouTuber who isn't massive, who doesn't have millions of subscribers, is that I can connect with you guys and talk to you guys and answer pretty much all the messages that I get from you, and I like that better because I get to know you better. Next question comes from Grace, and she says, what are you studying at uni? XX. And I do a double degree in creative industries and business, and then I major in fashion and marketing, and I absolutely love it. I'm in my 4th year now, but I can't wait to finish. Next question comes from Chantel, and she says, what is the best thing about living in Brisbane? P.S. I love you and your videos so much. You're so amazing and beautiful. XXX, hashtag Snapchat fam. First of all, thank you so much. You're so lovely, and I love you too. And yes, the Snapchat fam. I need to get on Snapchat if you aren't already. So, best thing about living in Brisbane. I think the best thing for me about living in Brisbane is that it is a city, but it's a smaller city. I grew up in like a small beach town, so I think it would have been very strange for me going straight from living in this little town where there is hardly any people to a massive city like Sydney or Melbourne or somewhere overseas. So that's what I really love about Brisbane, is that it's a city, but at the same time it's also a really close-knit community, and when you go out you see people that you know. The music here is awesome. Like, Brisbane has seriously the best music scene ever. There's been some awesome bands that have come out of Brisbane. As well as that, there's also a bunch of places near the city that when you go there, you just don't feel like you're in the city. Like, if you guys have been to the Botanical Gardens near Mount Cootha, or the actual Mount Cootha walk, you don't feel like you're 10 minutes from the city because it's so beautiful and there's so much rainforest. Those are a couple of things I love about Brisbane. Brisbane's awesome. I feel like it's super underrated. Next question comes from Rani, and she says, when is Maeve going to be in a video again? XX. Maeve is actually in Europe at the moment, so she's there for 3 months, and I think she is about 6 weeks in at the moment, so she won't be in a video for at least the next 6 weeks. I can't wait for her to come back, guys. I miss her so much. I'll force her to be in a video when she gets back there, I promise. Speak of the devil, Maeve says, my question for you, Missy, is what is your favorite dinner to cook? Lol. She probably asked me the question because she knows that I like don't really cook that much. I really need to learn how to cook. There is this dish that my housemate used to make all the time when she was a vegetarian called butter chickpea, and it's basically butter chicken but without the chicken, replaced with chickpea, and it is so good. You guys need to Google it if you haven't. You can make it as spicy or as mild as you would like, and it's really, really easy for people who do not know how to cook like me. Next question comes from Mandy, and she says, do you have any tips for gaining confidence in speaking up and telling it how it is? I'm in a situation currently where I need to, but I'm just not like that. Love your videos, by the way. Firstly, thank you so much. And yes, I have always been a person like this, and I still am, but I'm really working on it. I absolutely hate conflict. Any kind of conflict, get me out of there. But I've definitely been in a couple of situations in the past where I've had something that I've needed to say about something and I just haven't said it, and it's been on my mind and it just weighs me down, and I end up getting upset about it because I don't speak up about it just because I'm afraid of the conflict. So I think you really just have to, in the moment, remember that if you just say it and just talk about it, it's going to be so much more beneficial in the future. You're so much better off telling something straight and how it is than going behind someone's back and like talking about it. So just say it. Seriously, that's my advice. Just do it, but make sure you go about it in a mature way. If you have something that you want to say to somebody, I think it's important to remember how they might feel and put yourself in their shoes and be like, look, I understand that you might be feeling this, blah, 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 but this is how I feel. Like, can you please try and see where I'm coming from? So yeah, just going about it in a mature way. So I hope that you can talk up about whatever it is that you need to say. Next question comes from Erin, and she says, what are your all-time favorite bands, artists? Love you too. David Bowie, absolutely love David Bowie. I'm a massive fan of The Strokes. I also really love the Arctic Monkeys, and recently I've been getting into a few older bands that I used to listen to as a child with my dad. So Lou Reed, I love, like Lou Reed and David Bowie and T-Rex are just some of my all-time favorites. I've been listening to a bit of Pink Floyd. I really love the Rolling Stones. They just always put me in the best mood ever. And in terms of more recent, I think definitely Mac DeMarco. He's one of my favorites. I could go on forever about this. I'm gonna leave that there. Next question comes from RLS, and they say, my question is, what is your favorite snack? Mine is everything. I feel you there. I make these little bliss balls out of like dates, coconut oil, coconut flakes, cacao. What else do I put in them? Nuts. And they take kind of a while to make, but I just put them in the NutriBullet, blend them all up and roll them into little balls, and those are absolutely amazing for a really healthy snack. But other than that, sushi, anything Japanese, like, oh my god. This question comes from Antonia, and she says, how old were you when you started YouTube? And I was 17. Next question comes from Alka, and they say, can you sing your favorite song in your next video? I want to hear your voice. Guys, if I sung for you, the screen would break. YouTube would probably explode and no longer exist because of my tone deaf voice. So for that reason, let's not hear me sing. Next question comes from India, and she says, what is your favorite festival? Oh, that's a really hard one. Splendor in the Grass is absolutely amazing when it comes to like fashion, music, everything. I always have the best time there. So I probably would go Splendor in the Grass #1 for overall everything. But if you guys haven't been to Woodford Festival, you need to go. There's just something about Woodford. They work on the festival every single year instead of taking stuff off site and then just bringing it back. They're always creating new amazing things, and I just can't even explain to you guys what it is like there. It's like you're on another planet, but it's amazing. Next question comes from Memox, and they say, what is your life's dream? Wow, okay, my life's dream. I'm gonna have to think about this for a sec. But honestly, I think it would just be to be happy. Like, what more could you want in life? And I think I spoke about it in videos before, where people study these degrees just so that they can get a job to work for the rest of their life, so they could have a lot of money and be rich. But for me personally, I would 100% rather be working a job for the rest of my life where I'm not earning as much money and I'm really enjoying it, than be stuck in something that I absolutely hate. Next question comes from Ash Fisher, and she says, if you had to live somewhere for the rest of your life except for Brisbane, where would it be? Love you too. And I'm definitely not going to be living in Brisbane for the rest of my life. Like I said before, I really love it, but I want to venture out to new places. So where would I live? If I had to live in a place, I would definitely just go back to where my family lives. Oh my god, it's raining so much. Sorry if you guys can hear that. I'm gonna try and speak loudly. I'll definitely go back to my hometown on the Sunshine Coast where my parents are. It's just such an awesome beach town and so relaxing. But I really want to try out living in Berlin in Germany, maybe Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and I can definitely also see myself living in Melbourne if I can get over the cold, because I'm such a pussy when it comes to the cold. Next question comes from Miguel, and they say, what is your happiest moment? Oh, I'm not going to be able to stick to just one, so I'm going to tell you guys about a couple. Firstly, it would be when I went overseas to Europe for 3 months and I came back and I saw my family for the first time. I was just so happy to see them, so that would definitely be one of them. The next one was a couple of years ago when I won a trip to Sydney with Maybelline, and I remember the moment I found out. I was sitting in my car in traffic and I had this email pop up. It was like, congratulations, you go to Sydney. And it probably seems kind of silly because it's just Sydney, so it's not that far away, but it was a really big achievement for me, and I never really won anything in my life before. Pretty much any music festival I'm at, I'm ridiculously happy the entire time. And I think the last one would have to be hooking up with my celebrity crush. It happened, guys. I still don't know how, but that is all I'm going to tell you about that, because I would not want the person who it was to get leaked. So yeah, let's leave it on that note. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you all so much, and I need to tell you more often. I would love it if you would hit the thumbs up button to let me know if you liked this video, and also if you haven't joined our little family we have, just hit the subscribe button down below and you'll be notified when I upload new videos, which is every single Sunday at 4 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. See you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah.